I deserve a bumper sticker that says, "Proud parent of a NICU graduate." For all the moms who spent time in the NICU, you get what I'm saying. You see, parents of NICU graduates have a special bond, ever so stronger than the new moms at the Mommy and Me groups. Anytime we're amongst another group of women and the word NICU or prematurity comes to its way, it's just a matter of time before we gravitate towards one another. Within a short time, we find ourselves in the corner of a room swapping NICU stories as if they were war stories as we just returned from battle. Inevitably, the questions quickly are, well, how early? How heavy? How long was your sentence? How tall? I laugh now when I think of my written birthing plan I still have in my son's baby book, Birthing Plans. My plan consisted of some special soft lighting, an infusion of orange and peppermint essential oil to keep me energized yet calm, a sweet doula who I'd yet to interview, and a perfectly planned soundtrack containing Rufus Wainwright during labor and maybe some Norah Jones cued perfectly for delivery. Well, we all know how plans go. Little did I know, after practically hanging by my feet for 8 days in the hospital while they tried to stop the contractions, I would end up delivering my son 10 weeks early in a makeshift ER room that doubled as a storage room. The fluorescent lights were blaring, and because my Lamaze class had not yet happened, I was clueless on how to labor. At 3:11 a.m. on June 29th, I gave birth to my 3-pound son, Cole, being coached by a doctor whom I'd never met, who had very limited English and an affinity for classic rock radio, which he turned on to stay awake. He knew one cheer for me: harder, harder, harder. Tom Petty played in the background. You're so bad, the best thing I ever had. It's funny, looking back now, those 8 days were the easiest part of the journey. The next 3 months proved to be the bravest of my life. You see, NICU life is not for the faint of heart. Minutes after entering the world, he was moved to a full-access NICU, one of the best in the country. We were lucky. In NICUs, there are zones, and depending on the severity of your baby's condition, my son started out in the front lines. In this touch-and-go zone, heart monitors and breathing alarms would go off every minute. Nurses would walk down the lines of babies, casually flicking their little feet to start them back up again. Now, for a new mom, this is shocking to watch. What if my nurse takes a break? What if she gets a phone call? What if she uses the bathroom and doesn't flick my baby's foot? I better never walk away. I'm going to buy adult diapers, and I'm going to sit here until he comes home. It was social contract not to make eye contact with other moms in this zone. I mean, one smile or a nod or an obligatory hello, and we might just all fall apart. You could know a NICU mom because she would usually have the same clothes because she slept in the lobby or in our cars after we got kicked out for the night. We spent every moment staring at our babies through plastic tubes. Some days I would notice that a mother from Zone 3 was no longer there. Did she graduate to Zone 2, you'd hoped with all your heart? One particular day will stay with me for a lifetime. I was using the pumping room. It was a place where you could hook your breast up to the Cadillac of breast pumps to get the job done faster. The door opened abruptly and a nurse blurted out, "I'm so sorry, but we need to use this room right away." Without a second's hesitation, I wheeled my half-nude self and the breast pump out of the room in 10 seconds flat. They escorted a Zone 3 mom in the room, holding her baby for the first time after he left the earth. The guttural wailing that I heard from that room was, and probably will always be, the saddest sound I've ever heard. As weeks and months passed, my son kept graduating to the next zone. Zone 2 was a relief. Zone 1 was heaven. The mood was lighter, and the rocking chairs and the ability to finally hold our babies led mothers to feel safer to connect. It was a beautiful process in many ways. He continued to get stronger, but not without his fair share of deep setbacks. He just was never sure how he felt about breathing all day, every day. I recall sharing on social media with my friends that I just didn't think I could take the emotional roller coaster of it any longer. A friend and author, David Long, wrote one sentence comment to me that became my mantra. He wrote, "You're tall enough to ride this ride." And sure enough, he was right. My son finally came home, past his due date, on a heart monitor, but he was home. And he is now a healthy, happy, curious, ornery, vocal kindergartner. And I have no doubt that he is and will be tall enough to ride any ride that he's ever in line for. Thank you.